The coach of the team never even acknowledged me. He never looked at me, never bothered to learn my name. I don't blame him, I guess. I was terrible. My knees were really bad at that time, and I had one of those brown knee braces with a hole in it on one knee and metal braces on the other because of my Osgood Schlatter disease. I couldn't do anything. It hurt too much. Here's the other problem. I was lazy. I liked to do it my way, and I didn't use my size. I just didn't know how to play mean. I was going at half speed, and everyone else was going 100 miles an hour. They had a junior varsity team, but I was too embarrassed to be on it. I came home and told my dad I got cut, and I thought he'd be really mad, but he said, "Go back up to the gym and keep working." I was crushed I didn't make that team. I pretended it was no big deal, but it was. I didn't cry, but I was devastated. I went into my room, looked at the ceiling, and said, "I'm never gonna make it." I was really down on myself. After a while, I tried to put my own positive spin on it. I'm telling myself, maybe I'll be a DJ, maybe I'll be a rapper. But those were long shots, I knew that. Almost all of my friends made the team, which made it worse. I laughed it off, made a joke about the coach. I was still a funny guy, a great dancer. I was still JC, just cool. My father wouldn't let me quit. He had me play on the bass with the enlisted soldiers. He threw me in there with these military guys who were grown men. They banged me and knocked me down and messed me up. If nothing else, I was going to be tough. I wrote to Coach Brown to tell him about getting cut. He sent me back a nice letter about how I should keep trying, keep working. Shortly afterwards, this guy named Ford McMurtry, who was the assistant coach of the high school team, quit that job and started a team on the base. He said to me, "Come play for us." Ford was nice to me. He raised my confidence level. He worked on my conditioning and my footwork. When I got discouraged with my clumsiness, he was patient. "Try it again, Shaquille," he said, without ever raising his voice. We got lucky because my friend Mitch Riles didn't play on the high school team either because of bad grades, so the two of us were together again, Magic and Larry. My sophomore year, I didn't even bother to try out for the high school team. By then, Coach McMurtry had put together such a good team, we could have beaten Dwayne Clark and those other guys. He was determined to make me a player. I got some help from another guy who worked on the base. His name was Pete Popovich. He was watching me in the gym one day and he said, "Why aren't you dunking the ball?" I told him, "I can't jump. It's my knees, I think. I just can't get off the ground." Later on, when I went upstairs to lift some weights, Pete said to me, "I can help you with your vertical leap." He showed me how to do calf raises and told me to do them every day. I did those damn things until my legs felt like they were going to fall off. From the end of my freshman year to the end of my sophomore year in high school, my vertical leap went from 18 inches to 42 inches. In 1987, my father was transferred again, so we moved back to the United States. I was 15 years old and halfway through my sophomore season in high school with Coach McMurtry, and I just hated to leave. I thought I was finally getting somewhere with the basketball. We stayed in New Jersey for a few weeks visiting family before we reported to our new base, Fort Sam Houston in San Antonio, Texas. My Uncle Mike Paris came by. He hadn't seen me for a couple of years. He took me to a park down in South Orange, New Jersey, to play some pickup. There weren't a whole lot of guys around, but there was this one fairly big dude who played a little one-on-one with me. His name was Mark Bryant. He later became a big star at Seton Hall and played 18 years in the NBA. I didn't have the skill that Mark had at that point, but now that I could jump, I held my own. Uncle Mike was impressed with how I improved. I could tell. Whenever we played before, he could shoot over me all day. But now, all of a sudden, when he pulled up for that jumper, I could actually contest it. My wingspan was always pretty impressive, but I never used that to my advantage. I was discovering how to block shots. I figured, if I'm not scoring much, then nobody is going to score on me. We were leaving the park that afternoon, and my Uncle Mike put his arm around me. "Something has happened, Shaquille," he said. He was right. Something had happened. I was finally becoming a baller.